The difference between lazy and diligent people in life and according to the Bible. Okay. So let's see. The difference between yeah, I mean it's fine. I understand what this well first, okay, first in titles. Let me tell you something about titles, okay? The titles of an article. The title. Okay, so do you know what I mean by title?
Yes.
Right? Title. Let me just hold on. Is it the same word in Indonesian? Is title just title? How do you say title? Uh title is judul. Is it?
Ah, yes, gitu.
You do it. Okay, yeah, okay. You do it. Anyway, I sent you it in the notes. Okay, so the title. Let me tell you about titles. Number one, um, in an essay title, you don't need quotation marks. These ones, you don't need it. If
Oh,
it's a title, you don't need to write that. Okay, and let me just hold on. Let me just do this here. Always show room. Okay, go. We're gonna do this. Number one, you don't need these. Okay, you don't need this quotation marks. Number two, you don't need the comma in the title. You don't need it. Okay. Number three, you should capitalize the important words. Uh, you don't need to capitalize the and. So this one, the difference between lazy and diligent people in life. So you don't, I don't think you even need this between. So none of the prepositions, you don't need to capitalize the prepositions, but in a title, usually you capitalize the first word, right? The first word, you need, large letter, right? T. And then the other words, all the other important nouns you capitalize. And I guess, yeah, well, this is a noun. The difference, lazy, diligent people in life. Bible is always capitalized anyway. And then you don't need to capitalize to the. Does that make sense? In titles, right?
okay.
So for example, let me show you, let me just share my screen in regards to, give me a second here. We'll do this. Okay, we'll do this. So you can kind of see this. And I'm going to show you some essays. Let's say it's an essay about, let's say, Indonesian foreign workers. Okay, let's stop. Let's just see an essay. A review of Indonesian. See, you see, a review of Indonesian immigrants. Do you see this? This title? Do you see it? You notice. You notice the first letter
Oh,
is capitalized. The R in review is capitalized, but of the preposition is not capitalized. It's a small O, not a big O. You see, Indonesian is always capitalized because it's a proper adjective, and then immigrants is E. You see that? Same thing here. You see, Indonesia aim. You see the word aim, AIMS right here is capitalized. Do you see? So this is how you do titles. You see, same thing here. This guide to employment permits for workers, or for over here, new regulation. You see the R is capitalized, but the word on, which is a preposition, right? Preposition, preposition, preposition. Okay, preposition. Okay, preposition. So you see the word the yeah, the word on, the preposition, it's lowercase, but the word foreign, employees are all, both capitalized. The preposition again, in, the letter I is a little I. You see that? Okay, so that's what I want you to note about titles. Okay, all right, so with
okay.
title, okay, now let's talk a little bit about how to make this title sound a little bit better. What you wrote is fine. I understood what you were saying. That's fine. But I think to make it sound a little better, maybe you can say the Bible, the Bible's view or perspective on lazy and diligent people. You see, you put it both together, but with this, it is more succinct. Okay, which is shorter. It's nicer. Succinct.
Oh,
It is succinct. Okay, succinct right here.
tingkat.
Ring
Okay.
glass. It's more succinct. You want if you write in a more succinct way, it sounds better. It's more clear. Okay, so here, and this one, this title captures the idea of your title. It's the exact same idea. You might, if you want to use the word between, you can even say the Bible's view on the difference between, right? Kind of like that. Okay, does that make sense? Instead of saying and twice, you don't want to say and twice, which makes it sound repetitive, redundant. Okay, redundant, right? Redundant. right? Very
Okay.
long. Okay, it makes it sound very long. Okay, you don't want to sound redundant. You don't want to sound very long. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay, so that's kind of how I would do it. Okay, in our lives, comma, we often see lazy and diligent people, including ourselves. Sometimes, comma, we are diligent and okay, and this is fine.
Okay.
You make it sound a little bit better. You might go, sometimes we're diligent, semicolon. Other times we feel lazy. The reason is because remember how I taught you about making things parallel? Let me show it to you the sentence, okay? You see? Let me show you this sentence down here. Do you see? Do you see the parallel? Do you see this?
Yes.
Sometimes is matches, it's parallel other times. We matches we are feel diligent, lazy. Do you see? Because the sentence has rhythm. You see? Sometimes, other times. We are diligent. It sounds good. The
Oh,
ideas
yes.
and the ideas match perfectly. So the sentence sounds nice. It sounds clear. Does that make sense? That's the reason why I made this correction up here. Okay. Sometimes we're diligent, other times we feel lazy. So new sentence, from the lives of people, from we feel lazy from what do you mean by that? From the lives of people will receive all the goodness.
From the right.
The results of our work. Yeah. What do you mean from the lives of people? What do you mean?
Uh, like, uh, uh, if we do the like good or lazy, diligent or
Yeah.
lazy, so we the result we 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 receive the good things or bad things like that.
Yeah. Okay. So let me teach you something. Okay. This is also similar to how the Bible, in the book of Proverbs, kind of talk about it, right? Proverbs,
Okay.
right? So Proverbs is peribahasa. Okay. Is that how I say it? How do you say it? How do you say this in Indonesia?
Peribahasa.
Peribahasa. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So right. So instead of from lives of the people, this is too wordy. It is too wordy. Too. How do you say this? It's too wordy. It is too wordy.
Oh,
Okay, it's too much,
yes.
too many words. You can make it because sometimes when you say things shorter, it makes it sound more powerful. So you can go, um, because of what you said earlier, you can simply say instead of this, you can write the diligent. The diligent. The diligent means the people that are diligent. That's what it means. The diligent, because the reason is because I'm following the same parallel up here
Okay.
in yellow. See it? The diligent will receive all the goodness as a result, as a result of their hard work. The lazy, you don't have to say the lazy people. The lazy, because it's already implied. People already understand you're talking about people. The lazy will lose all the goodness and opportunities they could have achieved. The reason why you write could have achieved is because it's a possibility, but they don't actually have it. What did you have earlier? They can achieve. They can achieve. You can say that too, but you can. Oh, you know why I put could have? It's not so much. The reason is because when you say lose, it means that it is something that they had in a hypothetical or a possible. It's a possibility, right? So because you use the word lose instead of miss, like miss the goodness means they never had it. But if you lose a goodness, you're implying a situation that if they had worked hard, they could have had it, but they don't. So that's kind of why you need to use this verb tense in order to match this verb lose. Because you're imagining they could have. Like if they were diligent, they could have goodness and opportunities. But because they don't, we put a possibility verb, which is could have. In fact, remind me a bit later. I'm gonna send you a homework for could have. Yeah, could have. Okay, let me just write this down so I don't forget. Um, homework for could have. I'll send you some exercises for could have and how to use that construction. Okay. According to, okay, this is good. Okay, this is phrased correctly. This is good. Give you a happy face. This is good because this part is good because you use the correct article here, an, because the word that comes next begins with a vowel, which is I. Like, so if you put a, that would be wrong. It would be an. So that's correct, right? Okay. According to IDN Times article, the only thing I need to check though is the news outlet, is this all capitalized? So to be accurate, let's check. No, it's not. See, look. Only IDN is capitalized, but the rest of the word, only the first word is capitalized. Therefore, you need to follow the exact format. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? Because the business itself, if you go to the website, right? Although in this one is more of a titling thing, but how do they call themselves? Let me just see. Let me just double check here. Because how the business calls itself, you should basically follow. Let me just see here. IDN. Yeah, I mean, right here it's already here, right? IDN Times, like the way. Does that make sense? Right. So you follow the way how everyone else titles them. So therefore, back to this one should be lowercase IMES. You see, instead of all cap, because we're just following exactly how they do it in public. Okay. The only reason why that website had all capitals is because it's just a matter of how they design a website, right? But normally in other news article, they would write capital I, capital D, capital N, and then Times with only the T that is capitalized, but lowercase IMES. So you want to be accurate, right? Okay. You want to represent businesses or organizations accurately based on how they name themselves. Yeah. According to an IDN Times article, there are 4 different no, okay. I change this word. 4 different, not different and lazy people, but 4 different. Add a word so it makes it sound better. No, this word needs to be changed. This word needs to be changed. The and. We can't have the word and. 4 different.
There's 4 different.
4 different what? Give another word. Make it sound better.
Different less diligent.
Of different what? Different what though?
Different lazy people.
No, but you got to use a noun. You got to give me a noun. 4 different what? Because
different.
Yeah. 4 different what? You can't use the word and here. That's incorrect. You can't use this word. 4 different, because you're going to describe these 4 things, right? What are they? These are 4 different what? 4 different.
Perspective.
Maybe. So, do you have a word? Can you think of one? 4 different.
Different.
You can say 4 different types.
4 types. Okay.
Or kinds of lazy people. You see, right? Because actually, well. So what did you say before? So no, actually no. Now I'm rereading this. What did you say before? Did you say perspective?
It's like action like this
Aspects.
yes,
Aspect. That's the correct word. You see, 4 different aspects of lazy people. That's the right word. Okay, aspects. Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. Aspect. Same word. It's very pretty much the same. It sounds the same. Aspects of lazy people, including number 1. Okay. Now let me teach you something. Back to titling. This is good. We're gonna learn something about titling. When you title this, these are like mini titles. You see? Oh, you see over here? This is the title of your essay, right? But here, these are mini titles based on your list. It might be good to one motivation, intention, like this. Capitalize. Remember the capitalize I was telling you about? Like this. And then like that, bold. Okay. And then here you want the format. Format means this: the way that your title and your explanation should remain the same. So you can do it several ways. You can do it like this. You can do it like this. You see? But you got to keep the format. You see, this is your title, underline, okay? You see? But your content or your explanation of this title, all of it should remain the same. But you notice here, it's a little bit, look, okay, this content is below the title. This one is right next to it. This one is next to it, but this one is below again. So you have to make up your own choice, right? You got to stick with one. Does that make sense? Right? So for example, if I want all of it to look like this one, I might go like this and add a hyphen like this. Like this. Like this, okay? Put it back here like this, like that, and then like this. Do you see? Do you see? Now it all looks the same. This is called formatting. Formatting, okay? Formatting. Formatting, okay? This is called formatting of how the words look beside each other, so it looks nicer, right? Because from a reader's point of view, it should be easy to read. Does that make sense? But if you mix up the formatting, I get confused. I'm like, huh? How come sometimes the content is below the title, sometimes is next to it? Does that make sense? This is formatting when you're writing. All right, one motivation and intention. Lazy people usually don't have the motivation to do something. Okay, yeah. And then new sentence, capital T, right? They tend to prefer to postpone or okay, this is not the right word. Avoid what? This is not the right. You spelt this wrong. I know what you're saying, but what is the right word? Avoid. It's not taste. Taste is hello. Taste taste is for food, right? The word is not. Yeah.
That is avoid perspective.
No. No, the word is tasks.
Oh.
Is that what you're thinking? Tasks means a job. Tasks means a job. Avoid tasks. You see? Task is the task means a job.
Oh, tasks.
Yeah, the word tasks is the same meaning as a job or work or a responsibility. It's a task. Or avoid tasks that need to be done, comma, while diligent people continue to have motivation. Motivate, oh, you gotta finish the sentence. To have motivation to do what? Why don't you finish it? To
their future.
no, continue motivation to what? No, you got to parallel it. See, earlier, let me show you the parallel. Okay, the parallel is like this. See? So whatever you said up here, you need to say the opposite down here.
Oh, they're like tasks.
To what? What about it? What about tasks? You got to give me a
Like,
verb. Yeah.
oh, for example,
Say
like,
again.
like for example, like a job, like to do something,
Yes.
like job or
Yeah. So
studying.
yeah, exactly. So how? Give me some words to write here to finish this sentence. It's not finished. Continue to have motivation
To do uh to do something. Sorry.
yeah. So instead, you might say to 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 complete the job or the task or
Oh,
bring something to bring a job to completion, right? Because here the reason why is because here you said this is postpone or avoid, but the opposite is to finish, right? You can say complete or finish, right? You can say finish, right? Okay, does that make sense? The job or
okay.
task. That's what you would say. Does that make sense? So here you put this like this, and now it's like it looks like this. Okay, good. Number two, difference in A, attitude towards. See, you see, this is a mini title. You see, remember what we learned earlier over here? Remember these guys, right? The titles, same rules. Does that make sense? It's a mini heading. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's why this is capitalized. A is capitalized. Let me show it to you here. yellow. You see? Capital.
Okay.
You see all the letters? That's how you title something. Okay, it's a subheading. This one, because it's the beginning of a sentence, this has to be a capital I. It is always certain that lazy people tend to avoid. Okay, no, this is not right. The reason is because this sentence is not right. It doesn't make sense because you can't say the word certain with the word tend to. Tend to means they are likely to, but certain means it will always happen. You can't use those two same words in the same. Does that make sense? Like
Oh,
it's like saying let's say you have an Indonesian friend. Let's call her Sally. Like just I'm making up a name, and if you were to tell me Sally will certainly be late for your coffee meeting tomorrow. She tends to be late, but those mean different things, right? Certain means she will for sure be late. Like out of 10 times, all 10 times will be late. But tend to means that it is likely she'll be late. So maybe out of 10 times, 6 to 7 times she'll be late, but 3 times she will not be late. That's called tend to, right? There's a tendency to, it's likely, but certain means every time. Does that make sense? Right? So
oh,
therefore, based on logic, you can't use the word certain and tend to in the same phrase. Like it doesn't make any sense. They contradict. You know what I'm trying to say? Okay. So what do you want to say? Which one do you want to use? Do you want to say always? And also you use always certain. So there's that. Do you want to use always certain or do you want to use tend to? You got to choose. What do you want to say? What do you want to say?
okay. I go to certain, certain.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. So in this case, let's take away this word here. It is
Okay.
always certain. It is always certain that lazy people avoid like this responsibilities plural,
Oh,
generally the category, while diligent people have a responsible attitude towards task and responsibilities. Okay, this is fine, except you're using responsible twice. I want you to change one of these words. I don't want you to say it twice. It's redundant. It's berulang. Okay.
oh yes.
Okay.
But it's
Change one of the words. Which one do you want to change?
and well, diligent people have responsible.
Maybe change this word. Maybe change responsible. Change this one.
Oh,
Change this one.
well, people
Use a different adjective, a different one.
uh, 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 but um, cepat ya, Bu. Uh, as as positive.
Positive.
Uh,
Okay. You can say not positive. Maybe you can say either focused.
yeah, focus.
Use focus attitude. You can say committed attitude. Committed means you made a decision. You will do it. You can say yeah, something like that. You know, like a focus or committed attitude towards task and responsibility. Okay. Okay, this one. Change the title to me. Which letters need to be uppercase with this? I want you to practice.
Oh,
Which word?
uh, on the ability. Oh, A,
Yes, good. Yeah, good. And tell me the other word. What other words need to be changed?
move, F,
Yep. And
F, firmer.
good. Yeah, exactly. Good. The ability to move forward. Good. Okay, because this is the beginning of a sentence, this needs to be capital L, right? Lazy
Okay.
people are usually trapped in patterns that hold them back from developing or achieving their goals. Period. Good. This is a good sentence. This is a good sentence, right? This is very clear. Okay, I understood that completely. On the other hand, diligent people have the motivation and the motivation. Okay. What I want you to do is here, I want you to combine this sentence without the word and. I don't want you to use the word and. Combine these two. How would you combine it? Put it together in one. Don't use the word and.
Okay. On the other hand,
Yeah.
diligent people have the motivation. Have the motivation that they motive have
Yeah. Put these two ideas together in one sentence, but don't use the word and.
the motivation have uh sorry more the diligent people have the uh
So like this, for example, diligent people have the motivation, and then all you gotta do is take this verb. You see this verb? Achieve. You see that? And then put it right here to achieve their goals. That's it.
oh
See?
oh it is
And now this is a very clean and clear sentence.
okay.
See? You combine it. That's how you do it. Okay. Diligent people have the motivation to achieve their goals, right? Okay, good. Okay, change this title for me. Which words have to be capitalized? Which word? Tell me the word.
Difference is mental
Yes. And
emotional
yes.
health
Yes. Good.
age
Good. That's right. Perfect. Difference in mental and emotional health. Good. Lazy people are very likely to experience stress due to delaying work or not being able to. Okay, you're missing a verb here. Uh, the verb is somewhere in this sentence. The verb. You got to change the order of the verb
what being able to
to. You need a verb here. You need a word right here, right here, right
uh
there. Put a word
work
right here in the yellow.
okay let's put our to dealing able to
Not being able to. You already use it somewhere, but add it here. You got to add that verb here. You've used this in this sentence, somewhere in this sentence, right here.
oh about
What's the right verb? Something.
for
Which one? To what?
uh to to
Which verb? You wrote it here. It's in this paragraph.
they were not being able to sorry well this interesting well able to sorry able to
Okay, it's right here. It's right here. The verb is right here. Achieve.
oh I see
Okay,
oh
because the phrase is to achieve results. It's a set phrase in English, right? Can you achieve these results? Okay. They're not able or not no they're very likely to experience stress due to be delaying work or not being able to achieve satisfactory results. And then maybe if I can combine the same ideas, I might say which diligent people have, which diligent people they're not able to achieve satisfactory results, which diligent people you can say obtain or receive or possess with calm. You see, like that, with calmness, with calmness. Okay. See, so sometimes to think about how to write it shorter is better. Sometimes it's better. Okay. I also want to share the differences between diligent and lazy people according to the Bible. Ah, Oh, I see why you title it that way because you wanted to talk about it in general and the Bible's perspective. So
Yes, yes.
in this case, I would write um okay, in that case, I would write general and biblical views towards like that.
Yes.
Okay. Then that would more accurately reflect the
Mm,
content of your essay, the body of your essay. General
okay.
and because general is here. This is general.
Yes, general. Okay.
Biblical is down here. Biblical is here. Biblical is here. Okay. I also want to show the difference between diligent and lazy people according to the Bible. That's good. Number one, lazy people will be trapped in poverty, but diligent people will get out of that condition. Proverbs 10. Yeah, that's good. Proverbs should be capitalized because this is a book in a Bible, right? The letter P needs to be capitalized. Okay, like that. And then the spacing has to be closer, right? So don't do extra spacing between the colon. This is a colon, right? Okay. Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. That's good. Number two, lazy people can only dream without trying. Can only dream without trying. Well, can only dream without trying. So, okay, can only dream without trying. Can only
I,
dream without trying. No, so that's not the reason why it's not quite correct. This sentence is because if you phrase it this way in English, it sounds like they are able to dream and they do it automatically. But that's not what you're trying to say. You're trying to say, I think what you're trying to say is lazy people have a dream, but they don't make any effort to do it, to do
I,
anything. They're just lazy. They have an idea, but they don't put in work. That's what you want to say.
yes,
But this
yes.
sentence, because you say without trying, this sentence seems like this modifies the verb dream. So dream without trying. You see? Like if you does that make sense? Like if you in English, if you put this phrase here, this in red modifies the verb dream. So it sounds like you're saying lazy people can dream very easily.
Yes.
But that's not
Oh,
what you want to say, right? You don't want to say that, right? But in English, that's what it means. But instead, a way to correct the sentence, you can say lazy people will only have dreams,
oh,
but they make no effort or they do not try to accomplish them, something like that. Okay, so that's how you make it clear. Okay.
okay.
um and then maybe you can use another adverb. On the other hand, you see, you can try on
Oh,
the other hand, diligent people make their dreams. See, yeah, that's good. Make their dreams come true by working. Give me another adverb, a word that makes what kind of work? What kind of work? Working.
dream come true by
Give me one more word. Working in what way?
uh,
Working way. Working.
working ever.
Sorry. Work.
Make have a work have effort to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. That's good. So let me show you. You can say by working effortfully. I think that's a word. It is. It is a word. Effortfully. By working hard. By working continuously. By working unceasingly. Unceasingly means it doesn't stop. Unceasingly. Okay. Like that. Okay. You can use any of these words to modify the verb working by working. Okay. You see? And then here, period. Okay. Proverbs. And also, by the way, Proverbs has an S. There's an S in Proverbs. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay.
yes. Those who work their land will have abundant food, but those who chase fantasies have no sense. Number three, lazy people can only complain, not can only complain, will only complain. Because
Oh,
the word can talks about ability. Like you know, can. Like,
Oh,
are you able to? That the verb can means are you able to? That's not what you want to say. You want to say you want to describe them. Will, they will only complain.
oh
Is
yeah,
it-
yeah.
yeah, not can. Can means they can or they can't. Can and cannot. Okay. Lazy people will only complain while diligent people never give up. That's good. Okay. Proverbs 13:4. Actually, sorry. When you add a proverb quotation, you should put all of it in brackets like this. You see? Okay. So for example, over here, the brackets go like this with a hyphen. Hyphens here. Let me show you the hyphen in green. The end bracket is here. You see? You close everything in a bracket. Does that make sense? You see the brackets here? The bracket, okay?
Okay,
So
okay,
brackets. Brackets. Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I'm sending you all these words for your oops. Hold on. I need to put it back into the other another into the notes. Hold on, give me a second here. Make sure I got all this. I need to send it to the right one in the WhatsApp group. Give me a second here. Yeah, good. Okay, done. Okay, good. And then also, right, going back. Yeah, so same thing here, right? This one, put everything in, put the whole supporting verse in a bracket. Okay, good. Lazy people will only complain while diligent people never give up. Proverbs 13:4. The soul of, I think this is missing the letter A. A lazy man, right?
Oh, okay.
It's missing an article. A lazy man. Desires and has nothing, but semicolon. There should be a semicolon or a comma. But of the soul of the diligent, the diligent. I think that's right. It's not the diligence is not right. Diligence is talking about a person being diligent, but the diligent, which is an adjective. Okay, so I'll give you the comment here. Diligence means the state of being diligent. The diligent, describing people who are diligent. You see? So diligence
Yeah,
meaning, so for example, here you could say an example would be um Novi studies English with diligence. You see? Okay.
okay.
And I say, and then I know Novi to be a diligent English student. You see? You see the difference? Right?
Yeah,
The diligent describes a person, but this one is something you have, you possess with diligence. Diligence, that kind of thing. Okay, so, all right. But the soul of the diligent shall be made rich. The lazy man desires what hardworking people. The lazy man desires what hard. This is not so much want. You use a different verb. It'll make more sense right here. Uh, let's change this word.
people will
The
uh,
lazy man desires what hard people.
have.
Yeah, exactly. Better, exactly. That's clear, right? Because if you because if you use the word want, it sounds like the lazy man desires what hardworking people desire, but it's not. It makes sense. People can understand you, but it's not as powerful as something as have. The reason is because working people not only desire it, they already have it. That's your point. Your point is they have these things: house, food, vacations, money for college and retirement. Good. But the lazy man's desire remains unsatisfied while gain the diligent gains the diligent gains wealth. This is singular. Diligent gain wealth.
Oh,
The lazy gain. Actually, you could this could be fine actually. Because this could be singular or plural. Everyone, every every one of us, okay, everyone, not every of us, every one of us, like this. Every one of us wants to be a diligent and successful person, right? Let's learn from the ants. This is also from a proverb, right? In the Bible, Proverbs. Let's learn from the ants who diligently collect food before the famine season arrives. Yeah. Yeah. So that's exactly how it is.